was this
Rolly,
about?
so let's do it.
That's why it's good morning.
Oh,
Rolly,
okay.
so let's
that's
do it in unison.
Hello.
Hi, all.
Okay, Rolly, so let's do it in unison. So in 3, 2, 1, Natuma.
Nah.
Chef Faila,
Yes.
you have a smile on your face after 10 days and close to 227 hours and granting media interviews after that. My first question to you, as a woman, where do you draw your inspiration and your strength from?
Myself. The fact that I had been doing very nice projects behind the scenes before Cookathon. The fact that kept myself going. I rise, I pick up my pieces, kept moving. There are times I get support, there are times I didn't get support, and I was still moving. It was a big deal to keep myself intact till a project like Cookathon manifested. So I'm a big motivation to myself for not going wayward.
Wow, I see. I love that. Big motivation to yourself for not going wayward.
Yes.
Could there have been possibilities somewhere along the line for you to have gone wayward?
Just
growing
maybe
up.
the struggle, having to grow up in a family that I didn't have a big sister or brother. I was just by myself.
Right.
Life would teach me lessons on its own. I will make the mistakes, correct my own self. It's something I won't overlook because people would have sisters and brothers and be entitled to certain coaching, certain security, certain whatever help. I didn't get that. And I'm here today intact. I am sure if I was wayward when Cookathon came out, you equally have videos of it being popped up.
Sure.
I'm so grateful to myself.
So, what does that mean? Where was mommy and daddy when you were growing up? Who raised you? What's your story?
Mommy and daddy were there along the line. Mommy died.
Okay.
And yes, daddy must go out and look for food for the family. So I would have to stay back, do whatever I'm supposed to do at home and still take care of my siblings and protect them.
So you became a mommy at a very, very, very early age.
Exactly.
How old were you when mommy passed?
Well, I was more than 18, so
Okay.
that was okay.
Okay. But considering where you're coming from, education is always a challenge, especially for the female child. You speak so well, you're very experienced. How did you get the privilege of getting this educated? How differently did daddy raise you? How much support did you get to even become this example for all of us?
Yes, before Cookathon, I would lament to my friends that I feel that what I can do with my skills and talents and sometimes certain knowledge is simply because I wasn't coming from a house where both parents were that educated to have supported whatever God had filled me with. Neither did I have sisters and brothers to have seen that and then given me a push. Neither did I have anybody in my family who was on top to have held my hand. And so if I got the small opportunity to have educated myself, it's up to me to have grabbed it. And I grabbed it. So my university level, I got a degree from UDS in WA campus.
Okay.
And that was it.
Before UDS, which schools did you attend?
I attended Business Secondary School and I also attended Kamina Basic Schools from nursery to JHS.
Okay.
At the Kamina Barracks.
You're a military girl?
I'm not a military girl. My house was just, my father built around the barracks and so that was the closest school I could be enrolled in. And so that was, you know, obviously your friends become barracks children from the military men and women. And yes.
In all those years, what did you think you were going to become? A chef, a caterer? What was running through your mind? How did you finally land here as Chef Faila even before Cookathon?
My childhood friends would tell you today that of all the dreams I had wanted to come to reality, I always made mention that I will own an eatery because I was never going to leave my cooking skills aside. It was after school, after UDS, I had the opportunity to work with Bank of Africa. I finally had to resign. I dropped an application like 3 times before it was accepted.
Wow.
Because I was hardworking. I was marketing for them. And it was a big deal for them to keep somebody like me at the bank. But I was interested in my eatery too.
There was a burning desire. Who taught you how to cook?
It was a skill. And so I kept on building on it. Anytime, even after SHS, when we were all waiting for our results, I went to push myself into the then Aliu Mahama Hotel.
Okay.
Mafara Hotel.
Mafara Hotel.
Yes, that was at Russian Bungalows. And I personally told them that I wanted to be in the kitchen because I wanted to be associated with food. And subsequently, even when we vacated from school, from UDS, we are on holidays, I am quick to go and then be at people's hotels, some Indian hotels, Chinese restaurants.
So you say you never went to any formal catering school?
No.
Wow.
And you garnish food like that?
And all the time, all the time I told my friends that I wish kind of parents from the north were able to capitalize on our skills, to know the channels to have educated us, because I would have loved to have been enrolled in one of the best culinary schools than a university, because I knew my passions and talents. I simply wanted a family that believed in me on what I could do, and friends that believed in what I could do. It wasn't about looking at somebody being a doctor, a nurse, a whatever. I'm not intimidated by what somebody is. My best is what I can do.
I see.
But what gave you so much conviction at an early stage with this clear-cut path? Because most people, even at the university level, don't even know exactly what they want to do. What gave you that conviction?
So it was evidently, my mates at UDS would tell you that it was difficult for me at UDS.
Why?
You know why?
Tell me.
It was because I was forced to do what my parents wanted.
Which is
most of us have such families where from your education, from what you are doing till you marry out of your parents' house, you want to live for them. I had that humbleness in me that I would live for my parents for the fact that they could have killed me if they wanted. They could have aborted me away. The fact that they gave me food and life, I was going to live in honor of them till I left the house by legally getting married.
Okay.
And if I got married with their blessings and gotten into my husband's house, I would outline my visions to my husband. If he's a visionary person, he would support me.
Amen.
What did you meet him?
I mean.
Well, I met him, honestly, I met him by the roadside on patrols.
Hey.
He was on, there was this...
Your husband?
There was this time they were doing some serious internal thing on security by the military. And, I've forgotten the name they had for it. And so they came up, someone pushed them, an uncle pushed them that he had a daughter who had an eatery. And so the way the armed robbers are, they should try and pass by and then...
make sure the place is safe.
Make sure the place is safe sometimes when they are on patrols. And believe me, when he even got there, I disguised myself and said I was a waitress, because I always told myself that in finding love, I want to be loved for who I am, not what I am. Don't love me for what you think that would be easy for you as a man. And so I told him I was a waitress. Daybreak, he would tell me that, come and visit me at the barracks, and I would be quick to tell him that my madam has the restaurant keys with me. I can't come to you before I go to open the restaurant. She will sack me from work. And that's what puts food on my table. So it was that way until we got along. And the workers, the girls I was working with there,
they gave
me out.
He would have never,
because
he would have never
whenever
ever
you
known.
came to my restaurant, and the way I would dress with the girls, it would be difficult for you to spot them.
That you are the owner.
Yes.
At what point did you realize that he's the one?
Because obviously you're beautiful, so a lot of approaches will come.
Okay.
And distractions, yes.
I realized he was the one. when one time he cried over me.
Wow, what happened? Somebody else was
somebody else
somebody was
trying
getting
so
your
hard
attention
to take me away from him.
Okay, so there were people on the
It was,
waiting list.
You know, having to see a military man cry for a woman.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw that nigga. My friends kept telling me, Faila, you see the way you have been behaving. You see this particular guy, if you lose him, that's all. You are not going to get a husband again.
So that's how they endorsed him for you. And he actually endorsed himself by shedding tears for you. Oh, Charlie, so military men, they have emotions.
Right now,
and
they're
they
going to do guy be, but that's the reality.
He shed the tears already.
I know. Do you have any kids at the moment?
I have a beautiful daughter,
Okay. Abrefi.
Yes.
So wait, so Habi is an Ashanti or something?
Who?
Because Abrefi didn't know Obono.
Yes, she succeeded after her late grandmother, and the name was given to her by the people of Eastern region.
I see.
My husband comes from Eastern region. Yeah.
But are you originally from Tamale?
Yes, I'm
That's
originally.
your home.
That's my home.
Where you're from.
Born and bred.
What do they call you there?
Faila.
That's your name over there.
Faila.
Faila.
Yes.
So, okay. So the dreams of owning your own eatery, working in the bank and resigning from the bank and working in restaurants and in kitchens of hotels and all. When did you ever hear about the Guinness World Records and especially about Cookathon?
Okay. So that was where I validated the fact that education was important.
Okay.
Wherever I heard about Guinness World Records, if there wasn't education,
you wouldn't
believe me,
I
wouldn't even be able to put in an application.
Right.
And so I give credit to my parents for forcing that education on me.
Congratulations to them.
Yes.
So when first did you hear about it?
Yes, I heard about it when another person from one of our African countries embarked on it.
Right.
And so I did my own reading and I went into details of the requirements and the guidelines and whatever you could do best with your talent and skill, and then I put in to an application.
Is this Hilda we are talking about? Hilda Basi of Nigeria. That's
yes,
where you drew
her and then other people.
Okay, so that's where you drew your inspiration from, and you said, "No, I could do this." Yes. Faila, look. So when your contest came around, when we realized it, Efua was in the last days of her contest. That lasted for a week. Before the 7 days, right? Yeah. She did 6-7 days. So when it was ending was when we heard about yours. And honestly, many people out there thought it was a joke. It was a hoax. It was a facade.
Well, she wasn't going to.
Yeah, we all thought, but even if you're going to get into the competition, take your time. Like, let Efua bask in her glory for a little bit before you bring up your competition. Before you put out your artwork and all, how long okay, so this is what I want to ask. When you wrote to Guinness Book of Records, was it last year? When last year did you write to them?
Yeah, around June or maybe before June.
Oh, so that was even before Efua embarked on her sing-a-thon.
So that's the thing. People don't know what happens behind the scenes before you come out to do things like this. And so I strongly believe either Efua and I submitted our applications at the same time, but on different things.
Right.
And so we were waiting for us to be assessed and given approval to embark on our various tones. I didn't know her from anywhere. Wow. But though hers even came out before mine, I was supporting her on my social media because I was happy seeing a fellow woman coming out to do something for Ghana.
So you applied in June?
Yes.
When did your approval come finally?
Well, I was subjected to waiting for like 6 months. 6 months came to pass and I didn't hear anything. So I felt that just maybe I didn't have protocol enough and so they were not going to give me. Okay. So I continued with my daily activities and preparations for other things, only to wake up one midnight and then getting an email from them on approval and further guidelines to embark on the project.
Okay. Faila, I'm sure it's the question Roland and I want to ask you. Initially, what was the plan? How many days was the plan?
Initially, it was 120. It was 120 because you need to do your homework when embarking on any ton to see the last minutes the predecessor did. Then you capitalize on it to do.
The last number of hours that the predecessor did.
Yes.
Because you want to beat.
You want to beat
the last person who did it was an African, and the hours were barely not up to 100 hours.
Okay.
And so I said I was doing 120, which would have added more time to that hours.
Okay.
And the fact that Alan Fisher
Right.
had submitted his application before me, and I'm sure gave hours that did not get to 120. I was still giving the 120 to do after he was done with his.
Okay.
Else, what Guinness would do would have been that they would update you on the fact that the time you have given, the hours you have given, somebody is there, and so you must do more than
Beyond.
that. So it's not something that is not flexible to do, to adjust.
Right.
And should you also do more than the hours you gave them,
Okay.
they simply validate it with your evidence.
All right.
So originally the plan was 120
The
hours.
plan was 120 hours. And then when I saw that, yes, and so Guinness formally told me to do 120 hours.
Okay. Faila, you ended up doing 227 hours. Look, we've seen other thons. 20 hours into it, people are dying, their feet killing them.
Yes.
They are crying and all that. Faila, never a second did I see an iota of tiredness on your face or even your body. Even till the 5th, 6th, 7th day, when now it was declared that you were going all 10 days. Faila, where did you get your strength from?
Okay. So the 120 hours originally was for me. I did it. Now, calculate all the other hours in addition to the 120 hours. It was for my loved ones.
Wow.
It was for the people who supported me in my lowest. It was for the people who saw me in my lowest self
I know.
and kept on believing in me.
Not easy.
Wonderful people, I'll go into their offices, knock on their door and tell them, I'm not looking for money to buy clothes. I'm not looking for money to buy wigs. I'm looking out for the kind of family I didn't get. I'm looking out for the brothers and sisters I didn't get in my own family. I'm looking for an opportunity to have a history and pace in my family to change the story about my family, about the North, about the vilification we young girls from that side of this country have gone through that we cannot say on camera. That number of hours
You did it.
from that 120 to 227 and some minutes was in honor of all those people. And I was willing to go on and on to die in that kitchen for them. If I died, I would be so proud of myself in my grave with what I did wholeheartedly. No force from anyone, not my team, not the doctors, not the medical team, not any form of motivation that anybody brought to me in terms of cash. No, it was to honor all the people who believed in me and kept me going till this far.
Thank you.
This is for them.
Thank you.
If today Guinness doesn't give me the certificate in honor of what I have done, what happened in about 50 years till date, no youth had brought something of this nature that brought oneness, that brought unity, that brought love, that brought out joy and happiness in all the northern regions.
Faila, we want to thank
and
you.
the nation as a whole.
Thank you, Papa.
You
Please
want to-
pass
you
it
want
to
take-
me.
You want to take one? Just take one.
Thank you. Faila, thank you for doing it for all the groups of people that you've mentioned. We were told that your medical team had to put a stop to it because left to you alone, you could have gone on and on and on and on. But you're a human being. Were there times that you were tired, but you just didn't let us see?
Yes. There were times my hands and feet would go numb.
Really?
And I'll still be cooking.
Wow.
You didn't let us see.
We all know what numbness means.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were times it will happen. I was in Cocaton and was tested at 145 parasites for malaria.
No.
And I still stood in there for a purpose. I am glad for the results of that purpose today.
Congratulations, Faila. I saw a comment on social media after you finished that said that for the grace you've brought to the northern region, the person said he's suggesting, he or she, I'm sure when I say it, the person would know, that the person is suggesting that you should call on all musicians, everyone who came to support you, and those who couldn't even make it. Let's throw a concert, say at the stadium. Let all the artists come and play for free. And the monies that we get, let's establish a huge catering school in the northern region so that people who never had the opportunity that you had or that you have right now would have something going on, because we all know how underprivileged the northern part of Ghana is. Do you subscribe to that?
Just maybe if we bring to you projects I already have in plan.
Wow.
TV3 will be so much in love
Overwhelmed.
to partner with. And these are projects that would amaze the nation.
Amazing.
These are projects that will eradicate poverty. These are projects that would bring hope to the older people and the youth. And I just pray for strength and good health to be a part of it all, so we all leave this world.
Okay.
And so I think that subsequently my team would bring you paperworks that we would
projects that you want to embark
very
on.
nice ones. Very nice ones.
What is Guinness saying, Paparo, just a second? What is Guinness saying at the moment? Have they written to you officially?
So, you know, people are very inquisitive.
Yeah.
Some with positive mentality, some with negative mentality. We had people who were quick to inbox Guinness to ask them if I actually was doing Cookathon with verification.
Right.
Once you were doing it.
Yes. And so I was so comfortable, I was so free, I was so confident, because they would simply check into their system and tell you that we have given her the validation to go ahead with what she's doing. And this is her reference number. And so I think there are screenshots of people still messaging them, and they have replied them telling them that, yes, they are reviewing my evidence and they are open to everything. So it takes time, just like you getting into any university. You would write your missed semesters and trimesters and wait for them to assess it and then give you your results. Yes.
I see. So do we know how long it's going to take for the final verification and approval?
Not so
to
long.
come?
Not so long. Yes. So
we
let's
are
be hopeful.
We are still waiting, waiting for it.
Yes.
But in your own assessment and estimation, you think they would reduce the 227 to, let's say, maybe 220 or something? When you and your team sit down and you do the calculation. Yeah.
So now, whatever they reduce it to, we are going to have so many much more hours.
Yeah, the margin is big.
The margin is big.
The margin is big.
And they having to have been thinking that they are letting me do 120 and having this so much hours
you exceeded by 107.
Is something that's going to be wonderful to them. They've always loved people who can be adventurous. They've always loved people who can do the extraordinary. And I'm thinking of filing another award for my people with Guinness World Records to tell them that Ghana for the first time had the most supporting youth and adults come out to support something when it came to the Guinness World Records in the whole world. So they deserve to give a plaque to Ghanaians for that support.
And indeed, we also have to
say
say that there are individuals who hold multiple records
Yeah.
for
Different
various
reasons,
events
yeah.
or different
Yeah,
events
yeah.
or activities.
Yeah.
So one person can enter us for various categories.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is also not disallowable.
Would you?
Is
oh,
there a
sorry, honey.
story behind you not able to wake up in your hotel room before the cookathon or around after the cookathon? Or was there a story?
Oh, it's
Were
a
you-
normal routine. It's something normal. I just made mention that I had tested for 145
Yeah,
parasites
yeah,
of
parasites,
malaria.
yeah.
It's a normal thing to just have me strong and get
Yeah,
medication
yeah,
from my team.
yeah.
And I'm still good to go. If I were that sick, as someone would speculate to you, I wouldn't be in that kitchen. I was in that kitchen throughout. So
Okay.
it was
Now-
a minor thing. I just went in, took my medication for that malaria, and I was good to go.
Fantastic. Now you've conquered Cookathon. If ever you have the opportunity again to do another thon, what would it be?
It will be cookathon.
Will still be Cookathon.
The president eats.
Okay.
An arm robber will eat.
Yeah.
A doctor will eat. If you fast till 20 days, you would break the fast with food. Food is something you can't do without.
So if you
I
have
would do
another
food again.
opportunity, you will do Cookathon.
Yes.
And are we attempting 500 hours now?
I'm so mad at my team. They were too over sabi to have been listening to things.
They should
would
have just allowed you
stop
to
here,
go.
Stop here. Was I complaining?
What did Habi say to you during your breaks? What one thing did he say that really kept you going and you were like, thank God I didn't make a mistake with this man. You are really the one.
He was a positive person.
Okay.
Positive words, positivity, how you talk to anyone. You see, the people always have this perception on sometimes look at how they talk to them. You would find an aggressive person in society and just one person comes there. The person is not coming with a cane, not a gun, not any weapon, yet the person is calm.
That's who Habi is.
Words.
That's who he is.
Positive words. And those words were even geared not towards myself, but the constant reminder of the fact that, Faila, I asked you why you wanted to do this. You first of all mentioned that you wanted to do this for the people who have been there for you.
Yeah.
Why disappoint them now? Do it for them. They are here. Do it.
Wow. Congratulations to you, your entire family, the entire northern region, the entire country is proud of you. Even if Black Stars don't win their match today, you've done
They will
so
win it.
much.
You can see
so what's
my
the scoreline?
today.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. So I see your jersey.
If not because they will cheat us, I bet you that Black Stars can give us 10 goals today.
Hey.
They will cheat us.
But you know they will cheat us. And yes,
Whether
Sadia.
they lose the match or not, Ghana, go Black Stars. It is us. There's nothing anybody will tell us. We Ghanaians
no go
are
green.
special. We are special. You are great footballers. You can do it.
Amen. Faila, there was one person who was also in the spotlight when you were on the journey of this Cookathon, and he swore on his life that until you finished, he wasn't moving an inch.
Chef
Your
Eric.
assistant.
Chef
Where is
Eric.
he?
Yes. So I came up with Eric when it comes to catering. I was doing the hustle and tussle with him.
Okay.
We would do our pack together, go and get some orders, do it, share the money together and keep our mouth shut. If I got some orders that in my capacity at the restaurant, it was so big for me, I quickly tell Eric, today we are sleeping over at the restaurant. When you close from your workplace, come over. Because Eric and I had done hotels to hotels. Hustling and finding a Faila. Eric will go a long way to telling me that, Faila, even if you get married, don't let that man sit on you. Oh. You are my female friend and I can see greatness in you. Don't go to that marriage and just go and live your life. Basa, 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 basa. So every time I called Eric to come to the restaurant and us doing something together, Eric would not hesitate to come there. And whatever I always made out of those orders, I made him feel wonderful.
With him.
So having Guinness Cookathon tell me that I needed a prep chef to pick this and that for me,
He was the first person.
I couldn't have considered anybody than Eric.
He was your go-to person.
And I hope that this Cookathon would just not impact on my life, but would impact on Eric's life, and life would be better for all of us.
You had a lot of energy. He did too. But what kept him going? Were there times that he was also breaking down and all? What was the communication between you two?
Yes, so being in there, there were times I'll look at Eric's eyes and I feel pity for him. Then sometimes he will sincerely tell me that, Madam, Chantredu Kakana simply means, let me go inside the room and come. Then I tell him that, Eric, the rule is that I am the only one expected to stand by the stove. If not, I would have been running shifts with you. So I beg you, you being here alone, we have been gossiping, we have been making fun. It's enough motivation for me to keep going. When you go into that room, don't delay. Don't go and one girl will go and boss you and kidnap you and I'll be found fumbling inside this place. And that will be it. I'll just allow Eric have his one or two, come, and we are still good to go.
Fantastic.
As I mentioned, I had to motivate myself. If probably Eric had said, oh, I can't do it anymore, I would have still had to keep going because it's a marathon to be broken by an individual. And so I can't deny the support Eric gave me, and I hope that life gets better for all of us.
Faila, you've given young women out there and even older women out there so much hope, especially Upper East, Upper West, Northern region, Savannah region, all its environs. This one is your camera. Talk to the young women out there. Look at your 10-year-old self, your 20-year-old self, and talk to us this morning.
Right. Looking at me today, I am not Cookathon. I was just a young girl, a very naive girl, but a girl with hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I fell so many times when people were even watching. And I still picked up my pieces and walked this far. For all the people who supported me, they supported me because I tabled a worthy cause, a worthy project before them. You would always have to be yourself. You would always have to guard yourself. You would always have to consider being positive in all of your dreams. Even if it doesn't manifest, you would die a peaceful person, believing in yourself. Right. This is for all of us. And I am open to all of your beautiful suggestions, your positivity, your knowledges, and everything that will make this record bring out beautiful projects, social projects, the best in the youth and older people in this country. Let's let this memory be something that in generations to come, the youth will be able to refer to the fact that after formal education, we can always go an extra mile to let our skills and talents manifest for the integrity of this nation.
Chef Faila Abdul Razak with that speech for all women out there. It feels like Women's Day in March already.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. But this is an open invitation. We would invite you.
Sure.
Yes, 8th of March this year is Women's Day. Are you going to come around? Sure. You have to be around for the celebration that day. Sure. So Oliver, take note. Faila is going to come back. But a little bird whispered to us that you do music as well.
Oh. Just as I mentioned, I was talented, I was skillful.
So you can dance?
With the music, I capitalized on the fact that I needed to preach peace in the North during those days when we hadn't installed our Yana and there was so much differences with us. So my first priority wasn't to come out doing any hula baloo music that was going to put me on top or whatever, but to preach peace to my people. And so my first song was a peace song that came to reality, and it was that song that made me very known to our northern people. If not for anything, that was what first exposed me to the public within the north.
So is this something that you want to keep doing, you want to maintain?
It's a skill I play with, and so I would any day choose food over
music,
my skill, my talent in music. Yes, what I do with my hands and my feet is very important to me. So let's leave the music for all our great musicians.
You will do the food.
Be there to support them. I'll do the food
you
for
do
them
the
to
food.
eat.
All right. I can imagine that you have a long list of thank yous to do. But before you get to that, Rolly.
Before you do that, just to clarify, your comments on the musicians, the top ones who you were expecting, was it misinterpreted? And then also, what is next for Faila?
What's the actual comments that you made?
Okay, so yes, it was misinterpreted, and I forgive everyone for it. It's normal. If people can vilify the president, who am I? Just look at the wonderful men and women we have in this country.
If people can throw stones at them,
who I be? But me, I'm not. Fancy Gadam has one of his words. He says, "Dardarje." Me, if you like, whine me like Willie.
What is the meaning of dardarje?
Dardarje, you go pull me tire. If you like, take me, put me inside the dirtiest water. I'll come out and bath and still continue my
You're a
journey.
woman of great resilience.
Exactly.
And you're very emotional and passionate.
I know where I'm coming from. Nobody's worse. Will make
you go grief for anybody.
Come on.
Let's get to the
I'm
thank
grateful
yous.
for all the wonderful.
But you haven't answered the question about what is next. Then you do the thank yous. What is next for
She
Faila?
talked about projects that they'll be
Projects.
bringing for us to review and help her with and all that. So we are looking forward. We want to know about them. So we are looking forward. Let's get to the thank yous now.
Yes, you are right in front of me.
Right.
And I want to thank you every single time I would tune to your station. I would see beautiful women at you, and I would take inspiration from you. I'd been seeing this handsome gentleman. Today, I am seated here with him. And I'm so grateful for your support. The media, my close friends, my management, all the musicians, everyone. Those who were able to come through, those who were not able to come, use their media platforms, their social media, those who even supported by words that I didn't hear. I am so grateful to everyone. The priority of my thank you is to the Yana and the grassroots from all the northern region. The Yagbonwura, the Nairi, Bimbila, Nakpanduri, Cherpone, Wana, everyone. I even had the Techiman Palace sending in so much. I am so grateful to all Ghanaians. This is for all of us. And I pray that I stay intact to manifest the goodness of this cookathon to the whole nation.
I wanted to ask you this. Thank God I remembered. Whose idea was it for you to share the food to the needy?
So it's a requirement in the cookathon. Guinness would ask you after the application. That's not just it. You are going to have certain interactions with it, depending on your record. Just maybe someone's own is different. With mine, you still have certain assessment with them. What are you going to be doing with the food? And my priority, if people would still go to recruit my old pictures to you, you would come across pictures in my lower self when I didn't have enough. I would still go and share with small children. They're needy. And so it was a priority for me to have the biggest platform and still let them be hopeful that they have someone to look up to. And so I told Guinness that a part of the food will be going to charity and a part of the food will be going to the guests at the venue.
I see.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you did.
Yes.
Chef Faila, Thank you for spending.
No, Cookie.
Yes, ma'am.
If you joke with my title, the Association of Chefs in Ghana will come after you.
So
they said I am now Executive Chef Faila.
Ah, executive.
They will come
So we should add the executive.
Exactly.
Executive.
Chef Faila.
Executive.
In a very jovial way. Don't go and then quote things that you didn't hear. But I think we're happy that you are a very passionate, goal-driven, emotional person. So until you meet the person one-on-one, sometimes you tend to misconstrue the person's physical actions. And I think we're grateful that you made your time to be here. And you've been going around doing your thank yous across the media.
I'm so honored for TV3.
Yeah.
I had been here twice for Ghana's Most Beautiful.
We never picked you?
Went through to the final.
You are kidding!
Carla, say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
There was this year our auditions were held in Kumasi. We all
Yeah, so we did Southern Zone.
We had to come to, that was the first time it was done that way. We had to all come to Kumasi and get it done. And I was in a very tight competition with Hiba. Very, very tight.
Oh,
and
I remember
when
that.
we got to Accra and she was picked, I gave her my full support, went with her to
you
all
step inside chair.
went with her to all the towns in the northern regions, from Chereponi to Saboba to Yana, everywhere I went with
Ghana's
her
Most Beautiful.
to give her my support for her Ghana's
Now
Most
look
Beautiful.
at God. Now look at God. Now look at God.
Evidently, you can
Yeah.
always support another
Yeah,
woman and wait for your own time.
Yeah. Executive Chef Faila, we're super proud of you. Congratulations on all that you have achieved so far. You've made all of us proud, and I'm happy that you're smiling at the end of this interview. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you to your team as well. I'm trying to get married this year, so the men who came, I mean, they stood with you all 2 to 7 hours.
The cookathon, you take it and consider one
Please,
of them.
bring me some water and let me drink
just
water.
just take the cookathon
Okay.
and consider one of them. You are an achievement to us.
Yes,
So I beg you, you take the
should-
cookathon
That's right.
and just
one
consider.
of them.
But 3 of them came, so the tallest one or
And
the
so
medium
you,
one.
that one is your choice. Look
Okay.
at the one you love amongst
Okay.
them, and we are
Okay.
good to go.
All right. We'll organize a whole ceremony for that one. You will cook, and then we'll have some pomp and
I'll cook
pageantry,
for free.
some traditional dance and
Ah.
music. My cameraman is already doing the
And
dance.
that'll be the 8th of March.
Women's Day,
Oh,
what's
Women's
Saturday
Day.
to know?
Okay.
What's Saturday to know?
You said 8th.
No, she's coming for Women's Day.
Okay.
Yes, but which,
The cooking and all that.
Yes, but which dates are you talking about?
I don't know.
Favaro! Executive Chef Faila, thank you so much for
I have to
coming.
leave all that to-
It's a pleasure to have had you here this morning.
Thank
All
you so
right,
much.
we are done with this awesome one. Thank you once again for coming. Let's take a breather. We'll come back and wrap up on the show with our relationship discussion. We'll be right back.